Hot Toys today has made a lot of Clone Wars fans very happy. Let's take a look. Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Star Wars Savage Opress. Savage Opress. It looks like Savage Opress. Savage Opress. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, we're also going to take a look at this. Maybe we should finish with that. Look, tell you what, we won't bury the lead. We'll take a look at this. So again, this is the newly announced Hot Toys 1/6 scale Savage Opress from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series. Now, I have watched the entire, every single one, episode 1 to 7 of The Clone Wars. I kind of did it because I heard so many people talking about how good it was and how good the clones kind of storylines was, and the kind of name clones, and specifically I suppose the biggest draw was Ahsoka and finding out about her story arc, because I was very intrigued by the Ahsoka character since the Mandalorian season 2 and Rosario Dawson's first live action appearance as the Mandalorian. Absolutely loved that. I think there's that's some of my favorite, if not my favorite piece of Star Wars media. It's up there. It's very high. That episode where she first appears, Rosario Dawson first appears as Ahsoka in the Mandalorian. Just fantastic. Her first appearance as Ahsoka in general, really. That was just fantastic. The action, the costuming department, and makeup, her performance, the choreography, use your words, even the mist at the start. If you remember, that scene was really misty, and that kind of eerie looking forest, and how she was just appearing out of nowhere on those white blades. I think I might actually go watch that episode after this. It's so good. I might actually watch it while I'm editing this, because I can't speak highly enough about that. That single episode made me go and watch seasons 1 to 7. That, and multiple recommendations from other people I respect saying that, yeah, her arc is just fantastic. And it was. She probably has the best arc, complete arc, and most interesting arc of any Star Wars character in the universe. I gotta say that. Didn't like the show. Thought it was very underwhelming and a complete disappointment compared to what it had built up to be. Would I rewatch the Clone Wars? Absolutely not. There's so much filler in there. I'd say it's like 50% plus filler. However, the good episodes are really good. Her story arc is great. The Order 66 stuff, fantastic. Particularly seasons 4, 5, 6, and 7. I say 5, 6, and 7. But they get progressively better, darker, more complex. Yeah, so Ahsoka's story arc, Order 66 stuff, some of the name clone stuff. Cad Bane, any episode he was in, I just found really interesting. And this guy is definitely, like, I don't remember much of Clone Wars, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of episodes I'm just like, this is a snooze fest. It's clearly designed for like 5-year-olds, and then gradually they did that clever thing where they knew their audience was getting a bit older, so they made the storylines and the seasons gradually more complex and stuff like that, and eventually, yeah, fantastic stuff. But yeah, the first two, definitely the first 2 seasons, first 3 seasons, a slog. But the good stuff is really good. So I'm going to go back and watch maybe some of the key episodes. So this guy here is Darth Maul's brother. It's funny how this guy is bigger than Darth Maul. He looks like he's on the roids. He's a lot more muscular and has more of a physical presence than Darth Maul. He looks like if you had to fight one of them, this would be the guy you wouldn't want to fight. However, from what I remember from the Clone Wars, Maul is the power imbalance here. The power definitely leans towards Maul. Maybe that's because he's more powerful with the dark side of the Force, or maybe just a better fighter regardless of his size. But this guy he was definitely stand out. I liked the kind of storylines they had together, and there was a really good lightsaber battle between him and the two boys in Sidious, if I remember that correctly. But yeah, interesting part of one of the more interesting parts of the Clone Wars storyline. So let's take a look at this Savage Opress. I do have a price for this actually. This is the current sideshow page. It's filtered it from pre-orders from new to old. So obviously the two things that were announced today: the Peter Parker Advanced suit. It's the kind of red and black suit from the PS4 game or PS5. Spider-Man 2. Anyway, not a gamer. Apologies. Savage Opress, this is pretty much where I thought it would be, $280. It's up there for a pre-release. You can put your pre-order down now, but the Peter Parker Advanced suit is coming soon. Alright, let's go back to this. Let's flick through some of these images. So, really striking. I understand he has swap out battle damaged horns. So you have the horns, because obviously Darth Maul and him are the brothers and they're the same species, only this guy's yellow and Maul is red, or this guy's yellow and black and Maul is red and black. I have to say, I like the inclusion of the mechanical arm. They're just, look, I know it's been done over and over and over again to the point where Deadpool in Deadpool 2 makes a joke to Cable, like, at what point in the future do audiences get tired of the whole mechanical arms thing? So you had, like, you know, obviously like the T-800 Terminator 2, when he has to show Miles Dyson, the Miles Dyson's family, that he's from the future. So the best way to do that is actually prove, cuts off his arm, rips off the skin. You can see the mechanical endoskeleton on the arm underneath. We've also got, you know, Cable, of course, in the comics and live action, the mechanical arm, just really, really cool. I love the way that's a biomechanical virus, though. That's a different take in it. Winter Soldier, obviously, and this guy here as well. So yeah, look, they're just cool. They're just cool. Some things just work. So it really looks like Bale and Skull to me. Bale and Skull always remind me of something like Game of Thrones with a lightsaber. Like, you got the cloak and the armor. It looked like a medieval knight, really. Like, and I think it's cool. It's kind of putting the knight back in Jedi Knight, even though he wasn't a Jedi Knight. He was Sith or somewhere in between. Not necessarily a Sith. I don't know. He was a Force user anyway. Don't think he was a Jedi or a Sith. Maybe he was an old Jedi. He turned her back on the Senate, or not the Senate, the Jedi Council, or something kind of like Ahsoka did. But this guy here, very, very like Bale and Skull. That's what he reminds me of. That yellow really, really pops. The kind of, those elongated horns look pretty cool. Hands are absolutely huge. Got those Mars bar fingers going on. Yeah, he's a beefy boy. So really like the mechanical arm, really, really cool actually. And it's kind of seamless. It kind of really blends in well. It doesn't stand out. They have the similar colors obviously to the armor, which I think is kind of cool. I like the emblem on his I think that is that called a kama, that kind of form of a skirt. You can let me know in the comment section if you're a skirt expert and you know all the difference. But yeah, this guy looks pretty cool. So he comes with not only the two lightsabers, they're LED powered, has separate rolling eyeballs function as well. Separate rolling eyeballs function, even saying it out loud sounds stupid. They should have just kept with the purrs, the parallel moving, where the two eyes moved. If you move them left, they both moved left. You move them up, they both moved up. Makes more sense, like proper human eyes, you know. I think they changed that because the system broke a lot, and the SIRS, or single eyeball rolling system, is more longevity, which is great and all, but man, if you ever try to line up those eyeballs, if you want to have someone looking to the right and trying to make sure that they're not cross-eyed, is just a bit tedious, but look, worth it when you get it there. So there we see the unbattle damaged horns. I only watched Clone Wars once, and I wasn't rewatching any of those episodes. I will go back eventually and rewatch some key episodes and key arcs, but not quite yet. But I can't remember when he got battle damage or anything, but I'm guessing it was during that lightsaber battle with Sidious. So this is obviously not for me. I don't collect Clone Wars, but I just think, hey, it's different. It's different. It's better than this other stuff that we got today. I mean, don't get me wrong. This looks cool. It's rare. I don't think I've ever seen any of the Spider-Mans from the VGM liner that didn't look somewhat appealing. Like, this looks cool. Like, the colors are great. I think the webbing is great. I really like the white spider on the front. I know that kind of divides audiences, but yeah, I'm just glad I don't play games, because this would be something I might get drawn into. That VGM line, they're going deep on that. I think the sculpt's incredible on this. Really, really good, because I think it looked really animated. Okay, it's animated, but the line HotToys have taken, they haven't gone a direct lift from the animated show Clone Wars and then kept the animated look and translated it to their figures. They've gone for a hybrid between the actor that plays them and the appearance in the show. So you still see Tamora Morrison and a lot of those clones and stuff like that, or Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan, or Hayden Christensen and Anakin. Now this guy, there was no live action counterpart, it was just animated, but I think it looked really animated in what they showed in, I don't know, one of their, was it one of the shows there a few weeks ago. I can't remember, was it Shanghai or something? I can't remember, but it looked really, really animated, and people were worried it wouldn't fit in, but I think they've nailed this. They've kind of kept this realism look, but the bit of the animated. Really like the lenses he's got going on as well, very cool. Got some head sculpt, looks great. You got the battle damaged horns there. I'm wondering how they swap out. Are they magnetic? Are they? I don't think it's a different sculpt. They might just pop out and in, maybe. I wonder, that'd be annoying, kind of lining them up, like if you have the unbattle damaged version. Say like the horn here on the right side or the left side of his head. So to see there's 3 horns, there's one in the middle, then there's a complete one on the right side of his head, there's a battle damaged one on the left side. I wonder, like, is it just a case of pop out the unbattle damaged version and put in the stumpy version? I hope they're keyed. I hope there's like a very defined slot that it goes into so you can't rotate them. That would make a lot more sense. It's funny how, like, I think this Clone Wars Maul, from my recollection, even Clone Wars fans, when it actually came out, it wasn't received very well. I remember hearing people say that he was very, very skinny. I think there was other complaints as well. I can't remember exactly what. Maybe it was the mechanical legs. Maybe they weren't split cut. But again, don't quote me on what. I remember specifically people saying he's very, very skinny. Too skinny. But again, I don't have the eye for this. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think maybe there was kind of complaints about the sculpt as well, but he looks absolutely tiny compared to his brother here, Savage Opress. I wonder will they go back and redo the Clone Wars Maul? Anything's possible, really. Nothing will surprise me. This is funny. It's not a great, like, on the right, Savage looks great. He's really, really like it's a kind of a good pose, and the expression in the face works with the pose. The guy in the middle, like Sidious, just looks incredibly bored. It's a very stoic pose. It's almost like there's 2 kids fighting and he's trying to watch the game or something like that. So yeah, that seam on the back of Maul's neck is poor enough, but what are you gonna do? They look great together though. Again, just contrasting colors, the brightness of the yellow and black on the left, and then the darker kind of red and black on the right. The size difference as well makes it look cool. The way their outfits are a bit different as well. Obviously Maul's belt is different. They do look great. I think, and you'll be able to pick up if you're going down this line and you want the 2 brothers together, you'll be able to pick up that Clone Wars Maul. Oh no, I stand corrected. You'll be able to pick up Clone Wars Maul pretty easily for probably a good deal as well. I can see his ankles as well. So no, the ankles do seem to be, no, they're fine. There seems to be a ball joint there, so that shouldn't be a problem. I think maybe people were wondering about Savage Opress's boots. They're quite big. Will there be any sort of a split there? Because articulation would be poor if there's not. He's a big boy, and yeah, they're going to need to have some sort of an ankle pivot there. Gotta say, the sculpt's great. The lenses are great. Good inclusion on the swap out interchangeable battle damage horns. Separate rolling eyeballs function. Got the interchangeable. That's cool. So you can have the Mechno left arm, or you can put in his regular arm. That is cool. So I think we've gone through everything there. So interchangeable Mechno left arm, good inclusion, HotToys, go use. You've got the regular arm, and then you've got the mechanical arm. Interchangeable battle damage horns, again, nice simple touch. I'm sure well appreciated by people who want this. Separate rolling eyeballs features, super stuff. This is all for $280, and you have LED lightsaber. LED, now that's singular. Okay, some sort of a weird thing in the middle here, just kind of like staff. I don't know what that is, but obviously something to use. Now it says LED lightsaber. Singular, powered by USB. This guy's got a double-bladed lightsaber like his brother from what I can see in the photos. And it said LED lightsaber, powered by USB, singular. Now I can see... What I can see here, I can see 2 hilts. And then I can see 2 blades regular, and then 2 blades kind of like the swooshing kind of action ones. I'm wondering... I'm wondering... It's 1 blade. It technically is 1 lightsaber. It is 1 lightsaber, let's be honest now. It's 1 lightsaber. So I'm wondering... The top thing that I can see in the... the top lightsaber that I can see with the cord attached... I'm guessing there's 2 lights on either side, and then you plug in the blade. So yeah, it should light up. But again, they're not great. I have one behind me there. It's directly behind me. You can barely see. There, you can see it there. Now you can see it right. Let me get this right. I can never. There we go. Right there. So that is the 1/6 scale battle damage Kenobi Vader from the Kenobi TV show. And that's a HotToys lightsaber. It's not great. Whereas above here, you can clearly see the glow off that. The CCFL, the custom ones, so much better. So yeah, and I got a custom one on the way for him because yeah, it just looks they're crap. They're not good. They're not good. USB powered, good, but up your game, HotToys. Make them glow. Get that LED. I'm interested to find out what these LED sabers that I'm ordering. Just a little side note. I have 4 custom CCFL lightsabers. Now, CCFL technology, I've got the Mando Luke, the green one. I've got the had two of the Ahsoka white ones, the white lightsabers from the live action version of Ahsoka from Mandalorian, and also a Bespin Luke. Now, they're great, I love them, but there is disadvantages. They are quite expensive. The CCFLs are renowned for, they get quite warm. I kind of have them at 50% power, I never really have that issue, but if you haven't blasted up to the top, they can get quite warm. I've heard that they can dim over time, and the very end doesn't illuminate. Now, it doesn't really bother me because your eye is naturally dragged or gravitates towards the brightest part. So yeah, I think it's kind of a glass half full thing as well. Like, I'd be looking at the blade, looks great. I don't really focus on the end of it, but however, they're quite finicky. They're quite delicate. I have broken one, and it was, in fairness, was my own fault. I didn't take the time to pose up Ahsoka with her feet flat and the wide base and all that, and she fell over and broke. So that's on me. But I would prefer if it was a direct USB, and I'd prefer if they were a bit more rugged, and I would prefer if they light up towards the end, and I'd prefer that they weren't, they didn't heat up. So I have those 4 CCFLs, and they're from Art 15 Custom. Now, I've just put in an order. I think they're ready to ship now, actually, of the same company, Art 15 Custom, but I've ordered Neo LEDs. Now, the advantage of these, they're saying that they're USB powered. They light up all the way to the tip. They are unbreakable. Nothing really is unbreakable, let's be honest. But that's, they're saying they're more stronger, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for. More, you know, when something is kind of not fragile, the opposite. Sturdy, not sturdy, just resilient. There's a word I'm looking for. It's eluding me. But the better built, whatever, and they don't heat up. So I'm really looking forward to the scene if they have the same glow that you can see from that Ahsoka right there, but are USB powered, light up all the way to the tip. That's a game changer. Looking forward to that. Anyway, so look, I think if you're getting Siths or Jedis, get some sort of CCFLs anyway. But be careful with them. So yeah, that's him. Great release. I remember people speculating about this guy about like a year ago. They're probably going to do an Asajj Ventress as well. I hear heavily requested figure character as well. But look, is it for me? Absolutely not. I've watched the Clone Wars. I enjoyed parts of it. I recognize some of its brilliance, but a lot of filler in there. Not a line I'm going into. So look, you gotta pass in the things that look cool to get the things you love, and all that. Pass things you like to get things you love. I'm not spending too much time in this because I'm not a gamer. I do not collect the VGM line. I've yet to see one of these Spider-Man that doesn't look cool, but a lot of this stuff looks cool, let's be honest. Great design. I love the contrast between the red and the black. I love the white spider in the front. A lot of people don't like that design choice, but it's cool. The mechanical arms, look, it's been done before. We've seen it over and over and over again. You got the kind of a symbiote thing going on. So this is Peter Parker Advanced Suit 2.0 red and black suit style from the Spider-Man 2, I think it's a PlayStation 5 game. I feel like I like the proportions. I really do like the proportions. Kind of like the wide shoulders, quite muscular looking as well, and the kind of the narrow waist then, and kind of the ab section as well. It really does. I think the proportions are really well done on these VGM figures. I like the gauntlets as well, kind of around the web shooters, the way they're kind of silver, and you see a bit of webbing going in. I gotta say that this looks great. This looks great, but it's just not. I think it's a bit of a copy paste as well, very similar to the Advanced Suit red and blue one. I think the white really pops here, probably because the suit, because it's red and black and not red and blue, is maybe naturally darker, so the white pops a bit. And I like, even like the white spider, if you look in close to it, close to the chest, there's texture on the white spider like that. There's texture on the mechanical arms as well. That's kind of cool. And I really like, it's really subtle, but I'd notice if it wasn't there, and I think it looks better because of it. If you look at the white spider in the chest, the edges are very, very slightly, like, they're kind of they've got black boundary lines. That makes a difference. Those little design choices do make a difference, and they don't go unnoticed. Or sometimes they do, but it just adds to the figure, and you can't really tell why you like it, but you'd miss it if it was gone. These little web wings, never use them. They're like magnetic, but a lot of them don't clip on properly. I love that look. Just even when the kind of, I suppose, the mechanical arms are idle, I gotta say, like, I've had 2 Spider-Man at the moment. I sold a lot of them and kept on to the ones I love. The Homecoming Deluxe. If you've been following the channel, you know how much I love that. I'm not going to go on about it. And you can't see it here, but the final swingsuit, red and blue, because it just looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. Incredible head sculpt, incredible suit, very, very classy looking, nice diorama base. What's not to like? I'm tempted on that Artisan Iron Spider though. It fit in well with the endgame display. Plus, I'm interested to see how they do that hair. It's kind of short hair. And I really like the way that they've improved the body proportions and the scaling, but also the LED functions that light up. I love that. This is cool, but look, again, it just falls into that category. Looks cool, but I mean, gotta pass. Folks, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking up either of these figures or not. You can also follow me on Instagram and X, and a massive shout out to any of the channel members. We're up to 31 channel members now. We got some troopers, we got some commanders, 2 different tier. The troopers tier is $2.99 a month, the commanders tier is $5.99 a month. If you go to the community tab or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel, my homepage, click on that. It gives you all the perks and it shows you about the perks. Biggest perk is that the commanders, that's the $5.99 tier, they get their username, their YouTube handle displayed at the end of all the content like this.